the Aberdeen versus Rangers shambles of a game on the weekend on Sunday night. Also, we'll get a wee quick chat before we forget as well about that. The aftermatch, guys, have we got the sound sorted here? Aye, we've got the sound.
Sound should be. It just takes a few seconds to catch up. The sound's on now.
So they've got the aftermatch. The aftermatch. Can't hear you. You must be able to hear it in 2 seconds.
Listen, with the show tonight.
Fine, so after that, we've got the Rangers Aberdeen game.
See, with the show tonight with Aberdeen game, you probably don't want to hear us actually.
Thumbs up, can you hear us? Thumbs up if you can't. If you can't hear us, you want to know to put the thumbs up. Or the thumbs down. Right. We are live.
That's a good point, actually.
You could always get a wee guy in the corner doing the sign language, you know that. Guys, we're going to talk about tonight the Rangers versus Aberdeen game at Pittodrie, 4:30 kick-off on Sunday night, and as well as the match, the aftermath with the shambolic decision they've been doing for the last few years, where the Rangers buses are basically get a police escort out. The buses were bricked, and as usual, the Rangers reported the bad publicity, something that they were in control of. We'll talk about that later on as well. But there was also big news today from Rangers. They've released a new statement regarding the Stuart Robertson affair that the fans have had a campaign to get rid of recently. We'll quickly read that out. I haven't got the Gregory Peck, so Vivian or Gordon, who can see it?
Rangers Football Club can today announce managing director Stuart Robertson is to depart the club this summer, with the chairman and board delighted to appoint James Bisgrove as the club's new chief executive officer. Blah blah blah. Stuart leaves with the best wishes and gratitude of the chairman and board for all he's achieved in his time at Ibrox. James Bisgrove will transition from his current director of commercial and marketing role, becoming Rangers CEO from July the 31st. Stuart Robertson has overseen a transformational period in the club's history. Stuart departs the 8-year tenure, having returned the club to profitability and delivered the historic 55th league title. Don't know how long we can keep going on the strength of that. And several strong European campaigns, which culminated in the 2022 Europa League final in Seville and the return to Champions League football. Getting pumped every week. Stuart's legacy will be wide-ranging. Missed that bit out. That's not the Rangers chairman statement. Sorry. Stuart's legacy will be wide-ranging, including the club's new museum and Edmondson House, which is fair enough, I guess. Rangers chairman John Bennett commented in thanking Stuart for his tireless work and commitment to the club over the past 8 years. The board and I wish him every success in his new project, and we look forward to welcoming him back to Ibrox as a supporter of his boyhood club. That'd be good to know you'd actually a Rangers supporter.
It's a Rangers supporter.
I didn't know that.
He's no shouting and swearing and singing things. He's not to sing.
So there we go. Bit of news, a bit of kind of breaking news in the last hour or so that Stuart Robertson is to depart the club with James Bisgrove taking over. So we'll discuss that. That's going to happen in July. So we'll discuss that.
The first thing I'll comment on, and I think I'm right in saying this, that statement isn't much different from the statement from Dougie Part's resignation. See the first paragraph and the last paragraph. If you take that away, it's almost copied and pasted. The Champions League stuff and all that, it's almost an identical paragraph, as if it's all been. Because what I was thinking here is, I don't actually think this has been announced. It's been announced today, but I don't think it's been decided today. This has probably been let one go at a time, rather than make it look as let the fans have kind of won with the protests.
Well, I heard a few whispers about it a couple of weeks ago. In fact, when we were interviewing the RSA, that we were talking about it then, kind of
you never tell us.
Camera.
I don't know a minute. We asked you what happened. You never tell us.
I know.
Aye, but
this is news to me.
It was off camera discussion.
Let him have his moment.
No, I did tell you. Anyway, no, it's not a secret. Anyway, there was just some whispers that it wouldn't be the chairman leaving, part leaving wouldn't be the kind of first or last departure. Obviously Ross Wilson's left as well, so that's a trio in the last kind of 4 weeks announcing the departure. Which there's obviously manoeuvres going on behind the scenes for control and power and etc. So James Bisgrove has, again, it all comes down to what the expectation is. James Bisgrove's obviously had the remit to make money, and he's now been rewarded by his elevation from marketing director to CEO.
See, that's very good.
I've got mixed opinions on it. I strongly wanted rid of Stuart Robertson. He was, to me, useless. And it was a classic example. He's a nice guy, but he had no heart.
Yeah.
The fight of a teddy bear into a line, so to speak. He didn't have anything in common with the average Rangers fan. Probably the guys that are in the business side of Rangers, he would have a lot in common, but the match going Rangers fan he didn't have anything in common with. He had absolutely no personality and he had no charisma, and to be in that position I think you need to have an aura about you, where people sense a bit of power and strength. He didn't have any of these. However, as much as I'm happy that we've got rid of him, to bring in Bygroves as Bisgrove or what his name is, to bring him in as a replacement is to me the fire, gone for the frying pan into the fire. I really don't understand it. This is one of the guys that was involved in the fiasco of Sydney.
I just can't understand.
I don't see
it. Makes no sense. Why would you mention that he's a Rangers fan without, like he was the one involved directly. He was the person that came onto the cameras and was speaking to the fans directly about the Sydney Cup, and he's supposedly a Rangers fan. So
the two people that done interviews with the fan media was Robertson and Bygroves, and the two of them defended it at the time and stood by it. Bygroves still does. That was a major PR disaster with Rangers, and I believe he's made other mistakes as well. Mainly these the financial deals with Rangers. It just seems to be an email every day wanting money from the fans constantly. So I don't think, and he's not from a Rangers background. So my opinion is it's the right move to get rid of Robertson. It's the wrong move to get another one of these guys back in, and they've got nothing in common with the supporters clubs, the association, the Rangers fans all over the world, the guys that follow Rangers, go to bars or whatever, and you meet in a day-to-day situation. I don't think this guy Bygrove has got anything in common with us. Maybe that's why he's in the position. Maybe because they don't want that to be the scenario. They want him to just be strictly business, and he might prove me wrong. I hope he does prove me wrong though.
It's just replacing like for like really. Bisgrove's been at the club for a few years now. Robertson's been at the club for a few years. They go to the same meetings. They probably get the same remits. They probably get the same agreements. They probably have the same understanding of which direction they want to take the club.
Before the meetings.
Aye, so it's just going to be a kind of like for like replacement really. I would struggle to understand why this is happening now with Ross Wilson leaving as well, but maybe somebody out there in the know can share it with us. But I think Michael Beale doesn't want a director of football, or doesn't want somebody like Ross Wilson up there. I think Michael Beale wants to be his own man, and I think that there's a kind of changing off the guard at the club. Hopefully this signifies a bit more ambition to go from accepting second best to being the best again.
Maybe it's John Bennett using his power now, and his influence, and that's the changes he really wanted.
Perhaps.
And that might be the right changes. I might be wrong, mate. I just don't think. I think it's the right guy's leaving, but I think we need fresh input for new people.
Yeah, definitely. Why go to the lens?
Be interesting to see who, if anybody replaces James Bisgrove, and who comes in from a business point of view from Bisgrove. But I can imagine it'll be Bisgrove just appointing one of his lackeys, or maybe promoting somebody that he's worked with as well. So it just seems awful light for light for me at the moment.
It does.
And God made a great point.
I agree,
it's the same guy who was part of the committee, the decision making in committees from the last regime that been highly criticised. They've just campaigned to get rid of these guys, and we'll get another one of them in. So is it a big change? He's been rewarded for his financial job at Ibrox, where he made Rangers a lot of money, and I do understand that is important for the club, and it's got to be run as a business. But football, even though people maybe laugh when I say this, football should still be a working man's game.
I agree.
And Rangers should always try their best to at least keep the working man involved with football.
You will not get a job advertising Bud Light or Jack Daniels with that kind of, it's a man's game. You will not you will not get that job over in America advertising Jack Daniels or Bud Light. You know what I mean? You'll be right off that Bud Light advertising list.
We see where that's went. But the point I'm trying to make is I just feel as if they're getting further away from the support every week. John Bennett, big Rangers fan, maybe he's trying to get them back to that. We'll just have to wait and see, but we'll have to put our trust in them. But before we talk about the Aberdeen Rangers game, what I will say lastly on it is we need to get a massive summer. And it's bad saying that the season's not finished, but Rangers can't get it wrong again in the summer. So we need to hope these new leaders are going to be leaders.
Not buying cheap, because then you end up buying twice.
It's a case of, you know,
Correct.
Do you know what I mean?
Correct.
I've seen that quote somewhere.
meet the old
And
the
it
old boss,
resonated.
meet the old boss, same as the new boss. No, meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
Will we do some comments, because
We'll catch
things
up.
are going crazy.
Yeah.
Mark's on schedule. Is-
He's
Okay,
quoting
so
all these stupid songs
Obviously, a
from the 60s.
lot of people saying hello to us and all that. So David Hutchison, David Hurd, Angus Gladstone, Mark Aitken,
The ones that are
John.
saying they can't hear us, that's alright, because we were talking about a few years.
We've got all the way from
Robert
Moodiesburn,
Monteith, good to see you the weekend, mate, at the
Toronto.
Jam tribute concert.
Dougal Kerr, Neil Reid, hello, David Kennedy, hello, Donna Robertson,
Donna,
how you doing?
hello.
Hope you're well. Ideal name for a
Tim.
Rangers fan.
Hi.
Tim Skelper. I don't know if that's your actual name. If it is, then it's obviously you were born to be a Rangers fan with that name.
Mark's given us Mark Aitken's given us the update on the
Too many.
new fixture list. He's changing the fixture list.
Fixture list,
Somebody's
that
about to read it out.
I've got to look at that.
Yeah.
There's Aberdeen at home in it, and then
Yeah,
Celtic at home.
Yep. So next three fixtures are
On you go.
Celtic semi-final, obviously Sunday, followed by the Coronation weekend.
Yep.
The Gers TV big night on Friday, and the Aberdeen game on the Sunday,
Mhm.
which is the day after the Coronation, I believe, the 6th. So that's the 7th, obviously, and it's a bank holiday on the 8th as well. So that's going to shape up to be a magical weekend.
It is actually.
Then the following week, it's our second last home game of the season, Celtic, and then we'll have Hibs away, Hearts at home, and finish in Paisley, where I stay, playing against St Mum. So there we go.
And that's that.
The see, people complain about the fixture list.
That's it. Yeah, I don't know to wait for anything else here.
Well, I'm glad Rangers are at home for Coronation Day. I must say that. But the last 6 months, Rangers league campaign, if you want to call it that, has ended, and it's ended the same as last year. Very disappointing. So a wee bit inside me, and most Rangers fans is probably thinking the quicker this season's over, the better.
Mhm.
However, you need to win this game against Celtic on Sunday, and it's going to be a very, very hard task after
gonna be.
watching that farce of a second half
Yeah.
on Sunday.
David Hurd, so what we'll do is we'll get some comments regarding
Yeah.
the changes at the board, and then we'll go on and talk about the Aberdeen game, yeah? So David Hurd, he's a very good money man, which we agree on, and he comes
Yeah.
across well in interviews. I think he does. I think he has come across
That's a good
well.
point,
and
Is this a new guy?
Yeah.
well, the
That's
new
good.
the new kind of
Newly promoted.
the old
Promoted guy.
the old new guy.
Gordon
Eh,
Knight and Dennis Joker gave him the who quote.
Maybe he's got,
I hope he
maybe,
gets to know. I hope
maybe
he
he's
gets.
got some great ideas, so there must be a reason.
So David's making the point, not sure just promoting from within equals change, but willing to give him the benefit until proven otherwise. Worst case scenario is another Martin Bain. Best case is now his own man, and he was highly regarded in the previous role with UEFA, so was high level contacts. So that's good. I didn't know that, David, so that's good for pointing that out. He has started well by saying he'll have quarterly communication sessions with fans and fan groups. That's important because they are at the meeting like last week, 2 weeks ago, the RSAs. That's what they're crying out for. Hopefully that's just not, lip service. Hopefully that will mean actual proper two-way communication and not just a dictation. But we'll see on that. So some good points, David. And I guess we're saying with anything, we have to see how it goes, yeah?
I would agree with one thing. I think he's a highly
Yeah.
ambitious guy. He's not a Rangers supporter, and he probably wants to make it with an English league. He's an Englishman, isn't he? And he's probably want to further his career. But if he does this job well with Rangers, I'll be happy. But I just worry that he's no the right man for the job. But we'll have to give him that opportunity. If he does what he says with the communication, with the support, that would be a major step in fixing wounds. A lot of the Rangers support feel really bitterly about the way they've been treated by the board in the last 6 months or the last year.
Yeah.
So hopefully that happens. Robert Monteith, it was good to see, as I said. We'll just move that down.
Yep. David Hutchison.
How you
We
doing,
are
mate?
the
How you doing,
people.
David? Glad
Andrew.
it's Aberdeen first. A lot of people saying that. We really need to get Aberdeen are doing after the weekend. Craig McKenzie, 5 decent friendlies, to be fair. Aye. Sky Sports have said...
Going to show Rangers versus
Rangers,
Hearts. Home game, thanks
Okay.
Mark. Mark's always quick with the breaking pictures.
Jack's out
timings,
and
etc.
Ranskin potentially joining. I think gives me the fear. How if we start with Kamara and Lundstrom against Celtic, they'll counter it. How do we know they're both out? Have I missed something here with this one?
I think that's just an
Raskin's
assumption
at-
based on
That's we don't know. Is there out?
Raskin is injured potentially. An ankle
He went
injury or something.
off against Aberdeen, which was quite strange
I was-
because he was probably our best player again, or he was playing well certainly. So I don't know if that's just precaution or he's actually seriously injured or not. Let's hope he's not.
Yep. Okay. Ronnie,
Right, go on.
is this true? But I've been
Ah,
told
just
John
ignore.
Gregg and all that. Okay. David Aitken. I hope we finish the season on a high with the Scottish Cup. Yep, me too. And win the game left to play. I'm hearing we're interested in Butland. I keep saying that. Which would be great business from the club if we got over the line.
Yep. Well, we'll talk about.
There was a list of
Butland.
names.
Aye,
Rangers have
we'll
been
talk.
linked with.
We'll talk about maybe a potential couple of signings after we recap the Aberdeen game. So we'll talk about Butland and maybe one other person as well coming in. Someone Will Biero is asking, will Al McGregor be here next year? Even a goalkeeper coach sense? I think probably not. One of my friends told me a very interesting stat actually, that we've let in 34 goals this season, but only actually had 80 shots against us. So that's
really
almost
bad.
so that's almost one in
That's
that's
pretty
almost 1 in 2
That's
shots
frightening,
we're
yeah.
conceded from. Now, well, I've not double checked that, right? So if I'm talking mincing, I apologise, but it seems that that's about the defence as well. We're obviously not blocking a lot of shots, and the defenders aren't blocking shots, but
Yep.
Ronnie Shaw, we don't have any information on that, so we can't answer that question. So it's not that we're not answering the question. We don't have any information on that. That's not something we want to discuss on this show.
Aye, we've got to keep it to the top of the subjects here. We need to talk. Get 45 minutes to talk about the Aberdeen game, and we could probably talk about it for an hour.
So we've discussed Stuart Robertson leaving the club in Bisgrove transitioning. Shall we get it out of the way and start talking about the Aberdeen game?
Basically, aye. The first half, Rangers should have won the game. They quite easily could have won the game, and they could have been up 3 or 4 up. They probably could have won the game with 4 or 5 goals, but they never scored. They never took their chances, and after that, Aberdeen got. It's a lucky goal, aye, but you make your own luck in football. They changed the tempo. They changed the game to the way they wanted to play. And Rangers got exactly what they deserved for the match. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, let's pick up on that. I think first half we were decent. I think though that when you're a couple of strikers, so when your striker Morelos gets a shot cleared off the line, and then Sakala does really well but can't finish, that's your 2 great chances in the first half. And I think you block him. So what I'm saying is, what happens in that situation is there's no confidence for the rest of the game. I can't remember, now I could be wrong here, so please point out if I am. After these kind of couple of shots in the first half, I can't remember Morelos doing a hell of a lot in the second half. I can't remember him having a lot of chances or a lot of shots, but I could be wrong if I am, point it out. But I think that when you miss your chances in the first half like that, Aberdeen come out with more confidence. They kind of get in our faces a bit more aggressive in the play, and I don't think that we deserve to get out of the game in the end.
Yeah, I think in order to win, you need goals, tactics, and commitment, and I don't feel the players shown any of the 3 things. To be honest.
Another point, and David's kind of made a suggestion in this. We spoke about it, Gordon, at the weekend at the pub. The great teams score when they get a chance to take a shot. They don't mess about, and the great teams finish these opportunities. And the Rangers players, the Rangers forwards, the different ones that are injured and coming in and out and replacing each other, none of them, including Kolak, I would say, none of them are deadly in the box, and that's what cost us at the weekend.
Yeah.
Great chances, great move for Sakala, great touch, great run. However, no finishing product, and as much as we can complain about the goals that we lost, if we'd have scored the goals that we had the opportunity of scoring, we'd have won the game. If we do that against Celtic, we'll get beat. Simple as that.
We something like 20 opportunities to score. The first goal is kind of like one of those events that's going to happen once a season or whatever, which is fair enough, you take the medicine on that. The second goal, again, a ball put into the box, in between our 2 defenders. No one knows who they're marking, and it's a free header. Boyd does well to head the ball back across the goal, but we've got 2 central defenders against one of their attackers. He shouldn't be finding that space in between our 2 central defenders, and as I say, McGregor didn't have really much of a chance with either one of the goals, but maybe his position in the first goal we could question it, but the second goal he doesn't have a chance because the boy's a good header. But I think that's Marowski's or whatever you pronounce it, first goal in 6 games, and that was Liam Scales' first goal of the season. So
Back to their first goal.
That goes to show.
The criticism I've got with the first goal, he's an opportunity. He took it as a cross or whatever, and the ball goes in the net. However, Morelos doesn't challenge him.
Yeah.
If you watch the goal back, Morelos is now
He was really
in his
quiet.
zone. He's in his zone now, but I believe he's already got a deal lined up,
Probably,
which is probably almost guaranteed because he'd have signed a contract if he hasn't. He's got a deal lined up, and it's so many Rangers players in the past have done this. They don't want to risk injury with a new
Injury,
club,
of
and
course.
because of that, he was half-arsed it the whole game.
Mhm.
I think it's Michael Beale's got a major problem at the weekend when we play Celtic. Morelos is on paper our best striker.
Yep.
I wouldn't play him. I don't think he's mentally tuned to playing the game. I just think he's given up.
I mean, on the first goal as well, we've got a goalkeeper that is constantly on his line, and you'd think that maybe one of the benefits of him constantly being on his line is that stuff like that wouldn't happen, but you know, it was a great goal.
So David Aitken saying we did have chances to win against Aberdeen. Morelos, unlike we strike a goal, Sakala should have scored when the keeper to beat. I think what's frustrating about that, David, for me, is that Sakala, it was an amazing touch to spin past the defender, and he gave himself that opportunity. But I've said it week in, week out on here, and I'm sure I'll agree or maybe disagree if you do tell us. But Sakala is great when he's not thinking about what he's wanting to do. See that instinctiveness. See his touch.
3 seconds too many for
See his touch of taking past the defender.
Yeah.
That was sublime. That was brilliant. That was amazing because it was instinct. But then when he sets himself to shoot, he's not got the composure or the finesse to finish it, and that's what frustrates me about Sakala. He gets himself in positions really, really well, and he gets himself. Like, remember the game at the League Cup final, whatever, he misses from the angle, hits the post from 10 yards. Again, when he's got that extra second to think,
Yep.
that's when he messes up, and it's frustrating because it's very frustrating because he gets himself into opportunities, and he's got a good instinct. He's got that good kind of instinctive touch.
Yep.
But he just can't finish, and I'm afraid that for me, as much as I love him, I would be surprised to see him
I would
next season.
I would comment on. I know we spoke about this and had a laugh about it, but the last 2 weeks with what I've seen in Matondo, I actually think he looks quite promising. It was a great chance he had, and I know you could say it was a sitter, but he hit the post and outside it. And in a game of football, that can be the difference in making it with a team. See if that ball went in and Rangers get a comeback, people would be talking about him and how great he was. I thought he's running on the ball and off the ball's really good, and he might still have a wee future with Rangers. I felt he was unfortunate.
I think he's really got his since his injury, he's got his head in the game. He started his 2 substitute cameos. I was surprised after his cameo against St Mirren that he wasn't starting the game over
Or get
Sakala.
longer.
Yeah, I think that he's got bags of ability. There's a reason that we paid $4 million for him. I think we do need to give him a chance. We've got 5 games left of the regular seasons or of the season, so we may as well just give him a run.
Yeah, 100%. The last point I'll make, and then we'll open the calls up. 2 points I'm going to make. First of all, I don't know how long I've been saying this to Gordon and Vivian and yourself. We got in when Michael Beale came in, we get a set piece coach in. I don't know what he's doing. We can't defend corners, we can't defend high balls in the box, and we can't take, very, very rarely do we take a good set piece. The other point I'll make is bringing Scott Arfield on with 3 minutes, warming him up, getting him ready when he was ready to come on. 15 minutes to go, I think it was, or 10 minutes, but to bring him on with 3 or 4 minutes to go is just an insult. Do you expect a guy, he won the game for us the last time at Pittodrie, but
Yeah.
that's not right, it's not fair, and it's just bad man management.
He was going to come on about 10-15 minutes to go. We've seen him maybe coming on after 80 minutes, whatever, and then 7-8 minute delay. If your team's not playing well, you're 2-0 down. Why wait until the last few minutes to change it? I think Michael Beale obviously suspected there might be a bit of injury time, which is fair enough, right? So I get that as well, but maybe that's been factored into it. But at the same time, Arfield's an impact player at the moment, and he wasn't given much chance to have an impact.
He was the guy that everybody, we watched the game in Oswald, he was the guy that everybody was shouting for to come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a type of game, if you were going to say what kind of game does Arfield play in Aberdeen, the type of game he plays well in, I found it incredible.
And given what happened up at Pittodrie over Christmas, does it back in December at least anyway. If you bring him on with 15-20 minutes to go, with what happened last time we played, that gives the Aberdeen players and supporters the fear.
Yeah.
And it makes them stop and think, because they'll remember what happened the last time.
Effectively, what we done was
So-
kill time, bringing them on at that point. We probably done
Aye.
Aberdeen's job for
Yeah.
them when their ball boys were trying to do that already. Do you want to open the lines up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Open the calls up.
If anybody wants to give us a phone, if you are giving us a call, please type your last 3 numbers into the chat box, and then when your number comes in, we will obviously be able to see who it is.
So we'll just put the quick jingle up for the callers.
Aye.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We've got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. The Gers TV. Hit it.
Welcome back, guys. We've got 20 minutes left. We'd like to hear your opinions on it. Gordon said already, if you're going to come on, we need to know who you are, so we need the last 3 digits. We'll quickly just run through the comments again, though. We've got some just came in.
So David Aitken took the green, saying Sakala hasn't got the end product. I'm torn. So when I at the heat of the moment and he misses the chances, whatever you say to yourself, right, he's not good enough. But then you take a step back a couple of days later, you think about it and go, do you know what? At least he's getting himself into these positions. He's got that instinct. So will the composure come? He's still relatively young. So will the composure come? I don't know. Do we take the chance and leave it another season? Leave it up to you to decide.
I think it's interesting as well to say that I think people are changing their mind about Tillman. I feel a bit bad for him because he's only a 20-year-old boy, and it will be hard for him. However, I'm getting to the stage where I'm thinking £5 million is a lot of money that Rangers badly need just now.
Yep.
And if you're going to spend it, I don't know if it'd be wise. That could all change. I'll be honest. I'd be two-faced about it. If he has a good game against Celtic at the weekend, we'll all probably be shouting, sign him up for it, because football fans are fickle. But I feel as if he's got a lot to learn in the games, and the big games he's struggled a lot. Is that because he didn't have Kent beside him at the weekend? And
One man doesn't make a
experience
team in it, so
As a 20-year-old, that's playing his first professional season, you've got the big games. They don't come bigger than Old Firms, and especially the cup final is one of the games that he got a lot of stick for. The mentality and the drive and the hunger for big games will come with age. There's many players in this team that when they're in their first Old Firm, in their first couple of seasons with Rangers, they were really bad in Old Firms. Think Morelos, they didn't have that big game drive for it.
Yep.
But it'll come with age. He needs to get that one game under his belt for confidence. Like maybe if he scores at the weekend, or he'll get an assist at the weekend.
it's very similar to what I said with Matondo. It's 2 young players. I know they're different scenarios because Tillman has had a good season. But if Rangers were to pull it out the bag and get the result, and the 2 of them were to play a part in it, I think you would see 2 different players for the rest of the season.
I think there's a lot of expectation on Tillman, and I think what people
The £5 million price tag doesn't help.
Yeah, of course, and plus people forget at the game against Parkhead a few weeks ago. Excuse me. He was marked. There was 2 or 3 defenders on him all the time, and he won a lot of free kicks, and it was him that got the free kick for Taverniers' goal. So yeah, you might not see him doing the tricks and the flicks and the dribbles against Celtic or Aberdeen away, but he draws a lot of fouls. He draws a lot of. He draws markers out, so it's up to the players around him to see that and create the space.
Also,
from
like
that.
Gordon's saying, that's probably correct, that he's maybe getting instructions. Sorry, I was saying David, we're wanting to do the tricks and things like that, but Bill might be telling him, no, today I want you to draw players out, and we'll let the other players worry about getting in there.
I mean, maybe we can't forget Celtic are a great team tactically, and the Celtic coaching team will understand that Tillman's a great player, and they're going to heavily mark him, stuff like that. And it's good when you can exploit the space against smaller teams like Livingston, Hearts. He can find those spaces, but against Celtic, it's difficult for him. But I think that he will come. We just need to. £5 million's an investment as well, because he'll get a massive sell on. We'll definitely sell him on for more, I feel.
It's really just an is he Michael Beale's type of player, because I think Michael Beale he'll have a good idea exactly who he's going for. I know I can see that down, or there's something happening with the screen now, but I can't control it. I don't know if it's the internet connection, but for the last 5 minutes there's terrible feedback on the screen. We can't do anything about it now.
Stuart Robertson, he's pointing us.
It looks bad, but as long as all we can do is correct it for later on. We'll quickly catch up with the comments. Before we do that, if anybody wants to phone in, it's 0141 319 5230. Quick shout out to Marion. I see Marion's come on. She's not been very well over the last 6 months. It's good to see you back on the Gers
Hope
TV.
you're well.
Hi, Marion.
Hi Donna, how you doing as well? There's nothing we can do with your lines on, unfortunately.
Craig McKenzie's making a good point. Tillman had 2 or 3 potential assists if our forwards actually scored and done their job. So, yeah, it's a very, very good point, Craig. There's a lot of stuff that when you're in the pub or at the game you probably miss, and you probably don't realise is happening. So that's a very good point to make, that if, we scored a couple of goals that we maybe should have scored, Tillman might have walked away with a couple of assists on Sunday. So bear with us with the picture. We do notice there's a little bit of problem.
Don't know what's causing it. I've never seen it before, but I'm surmising there's a connection there.
David Hutchison's making a good point. It's only 20-year-old, new country, new style of football, 2 managers. I think he'll be a top player. I agree.
Very good point.
I've got good vibes about him actually. I really do.
I don't think 5 million in this day and age is a lot of money for.
No.
Try swapping it. No, I'll do the jingle. So try something else for a second. 2 seconds, guys. We're going to try and swap it out for a second.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We've got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. The Gers TV. Hit it.
Right, that graphic up, we'll just talk for it. No, 'cause it'll talk. If you want to put a graphic up. I don't know what's causing it. I've never seen that before, so I need to have a look.
So you need to do without our wee hands and faces for a couple of minutes. So we're going to try and fix the picture quality. Okay. Going back to what I was saying, £5 million in this day and age is not. I don't think it's a great deal of money for somebody that's obviously rated decently at Bayern Munich to go on a Champions League game. I believe he has played for America as well so far, and he has overall. You look back over the course of the season, he's had a pretty good season overall. So I don't think that £5 million is a lot of money. And I think that he's got. I think for the fact that if you buy somebody like Tillman for £5 million, it's another good season next season. You can sell him for 9 or 10 million next season.
We're just going to continue the rest of the show just with a visual in the background. There's something wrong with the live feed, but you hopefully can hear us. But don't know if there's any problem with the hearing us. But that would make you have a fit when the way that was going there. So
hopefully there's not a couple of sheep in the phone lines sabotaging us.
But guys, it would be good to get a call if anybody engages a wee call at 141 319 5230.
David Tellard, big thing about buying Tillman is how much you need to spend overall. Yeah, there's going to be there is going to be a big clear out, and there is going to be a lot of players coming in. I think Bill said 5, but I think there's going to be at least 7 or 8 leaving. I think that might be a few. Everyone forgets. I mean, where's Keemar Roof? I was thinking about this today. We didn't even mention him at the weekend there. So he's obviously injured, but I don't think he'll be here.
He's out for the season.
He's out for the season.
Did you not see the video of him in the picture of him in the surgery bed? Once
I hope it's not like the Rangers doctor he'll come out worse than he went in.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see Roof in a Rangers jersey many more times now. Goalkeeping wise, somebody asked earlier on about McGregor.
Yeah.
I think, just my opinion, I don't know anything about it. I think he's made a lot of money in football. He's got his testimonial coming up. I think he'll just take a rest for football. I think McGregor will just leave and enjoy the free time.
I think you're right. Yeah.
We've got. There's strong rumours about Jack Butland emerging today. I think that there's going to be some truth in those rumours.
I think I agree with you, but I think when we see rumours, it's probably leaked to fan media for a reason. Yeah. I think you're right. I shouldn't laugh at David's point. Yeah,
Craig McKenzie's saying that we were told last season that the money for Tillman and Sands was ring fenced, so that's actually that's a very
true.
Good point.
That's right.
I remember Gio coming out and saying that after it seems like a lifetime ago we beat PSV in the Champions League quarter. It feels like about 3 years ago now, doesn't it? But you're right. We were told that Gio thought we had a great squad back then, right enough, but we were told that the money was earmarked for these signings, so that's a good point. So it shouldn't actually impact the summer, but these things, you never know what's going on behind the scenes. Exactly.
But guys, it would be good to get a call. Get a wee call on because we can't get a visual here. 0141 319 5230. All you do is leave your last 3 digits. so we know who you are. If you already called the show before, you won't have to. Any other topics we need to talk about?
Well, we have got a game coming up at the weekend, but
Right.
I don't know, are we going to try and do a wee kind of preview show before that? Because it's obviously this is Tuesday and it's Sunday, so we want to try and get a couple of days of atmosphere.
We'll try and do something for that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should.
Also, we're going to try and get done for a few years for the Bristol Bar having their flag day.
Mhm.
They've supported the Gers TV over the years, and if anybody doesn't know what the pub's like, it's got some of the best Rangers memorabilia you'll get anywhere.
I'm looking forward to going
I
down.
want to
We're
see-
gonna go down.
Big shout out to a few of my friends. We're actually well, I can't say too much because
Oh,
it's
like
act-
the meeting last week?
it's actually no, because it's supposed to be a whole weekend. So if I say I'm coming back up the game on Sunday, I might get chucked out the magic circle.
So you're doing a boffy?
So me and a few friends, well, a lot of friends actually, with a stag weekend this weekend. So it's going to be a hell of a weekend with the stag weekend, and then obviously Old Firm on Sunday. So if you do end up seeing me on Sunday, don't judge my appearance or anything like that.
Have you got the Monday off?
I have got the Monday off.
I know,
Yes.
I'm looking forward to the Monday off as well. I feel like a good weekend. Will we talk about the coins?
I heard them. Robert's just
No,
trying to see.
Robert.
Aye, 2 seconds, aye.
Try to call.
I can't see.
Robert's trying to call.
I mean, try again, mate. I don't know if there's an issue, mate, but I don't know if there's an internet issue.
I suspect there might be an internet issue because
Think
that's
so?
a problem. That's a problem with the camera and the feed, and that's
Yeah.
a problem with the phone line.
Oh really?
So
Maybe
could
went
be,
down.
So we'll
Yeah.
go at the coins. You want to quickly talk about them because you done the voiceover that you didn't hear get put after that.
I know. Yeah. So we've got coins. Gers TV coins for the King's coronation. So I think we can see them now, can't we? Because we can't
Yeah.
see our faces.
You can see them.
So
on the
we've got them in gold as well, also silver, but it's obviously they're unique to the Gers TV and the King's coronation, so you'll never be able to own anything else like it. So we can order online, is that right? Things are now up and
screen. Yeah,
running?
I've sold. So
Yep.
I done a big batch of them this morning, and I've got
Uh-huh.
another batch to send away. There's about
Yeah.
120 sold already
Amazing.
that I know of.
So
Okay.
we've also got them as well if anyone is going to be at the pub at the weekends.
Yep.
We've got them in Oswald's, we've got them in the Bristol, we've got them in the Blackpool,
Cambuslang.
Cambuslang, and also Rumours in Barhead. I'm going to pop in this week with a bundle of them. So
guys, if there's anyone out there that is a small business owner or a large business owner and wants to reach thousands of people a week with advertising or sponsoring the Gers TV, get in touch because we've got some unique opportunities for you to get involved in that as well.
Yep.
So if you're a small business owner or a large business owner and you're looking to reach thousands and thousands of people every week, then we can help you with that. Okay, so please message the show and we'll get in touch with you
So-
because we've got some exciting plans coming up.
We do.
But we need your
You've
support.
probably already seen, we've been posting on Facebook about it. We're looking to move into an office into the city centre or the Ibrox area. That looks as if it's going to be a possibility either in the last couple of weeks of the season, but more or less likely pre-season.
Yeah.
Whatever we do, if your business is supporting us, you'll be well publicised and everything else, and it's really just to keep us going. So anybody that can support us with that 100%, it doesn't need to be British. So we've got a lot of people watch us for Canada,
all over the world,
America,
yeah.
Australia.
Yep, absolutely. So we are looking for your support. As I say, we've got some opportunities, got exciting opportunities. You can sell stuff through our website. We can.
What's the websites details?
Oh, I'll do this, right? www.thegers.tv.
There we go.
And you can even watch the show live on that, or
Can
all
say
Black
that,
Friday
can
shows are
we?
live on it as well. We
Mhm.
will have the shop up and running again soon.
Yeah.
If anybody did try and buy from the shop, we can put the purchase through. You just need to email us and we'll get it sorted and you'll get your key rings or your coins sent out. It's been great the support we've had there the last couple of months with people approaching us and having a drink with us. We were at the Oswald's at the weekend, Charlie
Yep.
Muller was in, that was great.
Yep.
Yep.
It's been good.
And as I say, if there's anyone out there that does podcasts or whatever and wants to possibly
We can
look
still
into-
see you, Mark, don't worry pal, we can still see you.
wants to look into sharing office space, whatever, get in touch as well. Get something we would think about as well. But we've got some exciting plans, and we really would like your support in that because fan media, it's a great thing. So we are happy to help other people, and hopefully other people will be happy to help us.
So Duncan Cameron's saying as well that the people are trying to phone in but they can't get through. So we've no idea. The gremlins have hit us here. The only way we'd be able to fix it would be turning things off and rebooting. It would take too long. So we apologise about that.
Cyber attack off.
Cyber attack off
Try
Russia.
Aye. I was thinking more down the road.
Aye.
The
Not
bike
really
race,
sure.
bike
Not really
race.
sure.
I'm going to
Cyber
get a call
attack
Lucy
or not.
Langer through because you're making me think about it.
What?
I'm going to try it.
So we'll
Aye.
probably wrap up in a few minutes because of the kind of technical issues we've had. But
Yeah.
again, some great stuff happening. Please check out our website as well, www.thegers.tv. I nearly got it wrong there. And we've got our own Spotify channel as well.
See, mine is
And,
what mine, so I don't know why.
So if you use Spotify for your podcast, please go and
Duncan,
search for the Gers TV, and you'll see all our fantastic historical shows with David Herd and a politics with Mark Dingwall as well. So please check that out.
Well, just quickly, we'll get in a couple of seconds. Duncan is a good caller.
Duncan's trying to phone you.
If you want to just get one more time and we'll just find out what's happening, because I just tried it there and it worked. Because we're trying to encourage people.
He might have tried it when you've been trying it.
No, I tried it after him just to check it.
As a Gers TV going on Hampden on Sunday, we don't know yet, Mark. We don't want to publicise these things in advance. Do you know what I mean? So
I'm in the corporate section, so I won't be.
we've got a corporate seller next to us here going to the game on Sunday. So
I might be going. I think I'm going to watch it in the Bristol
I'm pit side.
to kindly get to attack it.
yeah, he's.
What are you doing?
Pit side.
I'll roll. He's on Sky Sports. He's
Lewis, the ball
reporting
boy.
for Sky Sports, aye. Don't go too fast.
Are you going to it?
I don't know
I
yet.
don't know yet. That's a
Eh.
long one that I don't know.
I shall
Oh,
probably.
in fact, it depends. Oh, right, I get you. Not to be
Yeah,
described.
I
get
can't.
you,
I can't
sorry.
discuss this live
You
on
can't
air.
discuss it.
I don't have super mega my Gers, so I can't.
That's how drunk you get.
Didn't get tickets.
Oh, right,
Oh,
there's
Duncan,
Duncan.
it's working, so
Yeah,
it might be a bad line
we
though.
need a wee call.
That's a bad line. Duncan, hi.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Hiya.
Very
Okay,
well.
mate, can you hear us all right though?
Hi. Can hardly hear you by the way, but I tried to phone earlier and I was just ringing out, you know, so.
Okay.
No, just a quick point. This Sunday is the big one, you know. That's when we'll know who's good enough to play for us and who isn't.
Yep.
Aye.
Agreed.
And you know, I like Sakala, Matondo, Morelos, Kent, etc. You know, in my opinion, they're just a little shaky hooks, you know.
Agreed. Yeah.
Well, I agree with that, Duncan, because the time for excuses is gone.
Sorry?
The time for excuses is gone now. It's action. We need action on the
Aye,
pitch.
definitely, man. I'm fed up listening about potential and all that. But see, at the same time, saying that, I would definitely keep Tillman because
Yeah.
I know it's a lot of money, and you know, and I know the richest of clubs in it. But I honestly think he's got potential. Remember, he's only 20, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
So I would definitely hold on to the boy, and I mean, I think the least we'll get back for him is 5 million anyway, but they do work out, you know, so.
Yeah. It's not
agree.
much of a gamble. I agree with that, Duncan. Aye.
I agree.
It's
He's not had a fair
aye,
chance yet.
It's not a big gamble, I don't think.
And another point, Duncan, when you're saying that, is how many times do the fans say we want to buy young talent?
Exactly.
That's a big thing fans always want,
Yeah.
and he is a young talent.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's right. But anyway, the thing is, next week we'll show us that game in, what was it, Saturday?
Aye. Sunday.
That didn't tell us much, to be honest, because the first half, I was working the first half, and I was listening to it on the radio,
Aye.
and they had, I think it was 92% possession. Right? And I thought, right, I'm going to get to watch the second half. This is just a matter of time before we score. And hey, when I thought, that's not the same game they're talking about, you know.
I know. It's just it was a sore one. That was all. It was. I think we looked so much like we were going to win the game, and then to lose it like that, I think that was like everything else. We were all disappointed.
Plus the fact the same, you know. He get beaten after him as well.
Aye.
You know, as bad as that other mob, you know.
Especially the way the fans were treated after the match as well. When you see the windies getting smashed and the buses can't move.
Okay, aye, that's all the shit, that, aye.
Yeah.
That's a nightmare.
Yeah.
But anyway, here's hoping next week when I'm going back in.
100%.
Aye.
We're having a good laugh.
You can
know what I mean? We're rejoicing.
you can tell us what you think about Rangers' fourth goal.
About who, sorry, pal?
You can tell us what you think about Rangers' fourth goal when you phone in next week.
I can't. You know,
It's alright, don't worry, it's
Aye,
not.
that's
it's-
alright.
I-
Duncan, thank you very much, mate.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Aye,
Always.
people, guys, hey,
Cheers.
have a good weekend.
You
alright,
too.
right?
Have
Oh,
a great
Andrew,
weekend.
mate, take care.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Thanks. So I appreciate that. We were just trying to get Duncan on because he's trying to call a few times tonight. We know there's been problems, guys. We can't fix the problems, unfortunately, but the show must go on, and it did go on. It's been a good night.
Yep. Thanks very much for your company tonight. We'll try and get a wee show towards the weekend, and then if we're all out and about on Sunday, and if we're all sensible and sober, and we get a win, we might come on and do a wee kind of celebration show as well.
Just before I
Well,
forget,
we
aye,
went.
I've got a babysitter.
before
Wayne.
I forget,
I'll be
the
oops.
this is quite important when I remember it. We've got our event on at Ibrox for the coronation.
Yep.
We've closed the sales for it just now.
Mhm.
There is a potential we can open a part of the suite for another 20. The reason I'm saying that is with Rangers playing Aberdeen now at home, there might be a few Ulster bears or English boys or
Want to
girls
come
that are
over?
maybe thinking we're going to come up now and they're going to be here for that weekend.
That's a good
If you
idea,
do,
yeah.
We will be able to open another section up for another 20 tickets. However, we're not waiting to the last minute, so if people are interested, then give us a wee message and we'll try and get that fitted in, because I told her the day
So
that's the deadline.
when's the Aberdeen? Is that the Saturday?
That's a Saturday, so
Is
people
that
want to come
Yeah.
for the game anyway.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
so remember,
Brilliant.
we've got obviously bank holiday, not this weekend coming up, but the following weekend. It's a bank holiday weekend. It's a King's coronation.
Yep.
It certainly only happened once in my lifetime. The Gers TV.
Yep.
We have got a fantastic celebration night on the Friday night, and then what a day! And then the next day, couple of days, obviously, then it's the King's coronation on the Saturday, and then it's the game against Aberdeen on the Sunday. So if you are coming over for the weekend, why not join the Gers TV Ibrox on the Friday night? But you have to get in touch with us very soon because tickets are sold out. However, we can open a very, very small other section if we get interest.
And in case we have to mention this, because it was confirming it last time, we've now got confirmation we'll have pitch side photographs as well as the trophy room photographs.
Great stuff.
And
I've
a
never been
photograph,
in the trophy room ever.
and a photograph in the
This will be
enclosures
such
as
a good
well.
experience.
Well, I think there's some Rangers players at the moment that haven't been in it either. But no, mind, hopefully that'll
I
change
need a
soon.
visit in it. Aye, it is what it is, guys, but listen,
Oh, what?
we're just looking for as much support as we can get. You support us all the time and we're just trying to get bigger and better all the time.
We are.
Yep,
And we
so
will.
it's probably a nice time to wrap it up. Thanks for your patience tonight with the technical issues. Thanks for your company, and always remember, we are
The people.